welcome back, and welcome to our weekly edition of all things women in sports. We begin this week on the slopes. The 2026 Winter Olympics are just over a month away, and this weekend, American skier Mikaela Shiffrin won her 6th straight slalom title. Shiffrin dominated in the first 4 World Cup slaloms this season and won the final slalom of last season, leading to her 6th straight win on Sunday. And it was a rare come-from-behind win for the champion skier. This weekend's competition in Austria featured particularly challenging course conditions, as recent mild weather led to the course breaking into big holes as the competition wore on. But Shiffrin is now set to enter the Winter Olympic Games in Italy as the winningest skier in World Cup history and the first skier to reach 100 World Cup victories. This weekend was the 30-year-old's 106th career World Cup title. And someone else you'll see at the upcoming Olympics is U.S. skiing icon Lindsey Vonn. The 41-year-old made headlines earlier this month when she became the oldest alpine ski World Cup winner, and now she has officially clinched her spot on Team USA's 2026 roster. She is ranked #1 in the world in downhill standings and 3rd in the Super G. Vonn returned to the sport 1 year ago after retiring back in February 2019, but she says after the Olympics, she's hoping for the World Cup circuit in March, and then that will be the end of the road for her career. Turning to soccer, the NWSL, or the National Women's Soccer League, has adopted a controversial new rule called the High Impact Player Rule. Now, this allows clubs to exceed the NWSL salary cap by up to $1 million to attract or retain players that meet one of 8 qualifying metrics. Now, those include major media award rankings, marketing power, top U.S. national team minutes, and end-of-the-year awards. This will all go into effect on July 1st, but currently only 27 players across only 10 of the league's 16 clubs meet the criteria. And the Players Union has spoken out against this, asking to just up the salary cap in general by $1 million instead. All right, let's take a quick look at your PWHL standings right now. The Boston Fleet are at the top of the standings with 6 wins out of 8 games played. Your reigning champions, the Minnesota Frost, sitting in 3rd place, while this year's 2 expansion teams, Seattle and Vancouver, are at 5th and 7th place. The next game in the league is tonight at 6 p.m. Central Time as Minnesota travels to Toronto. We have 2 local ladies nominated for this week's Midwest Technical Institute Score Standout. So pull out your phones and scan this QR code. First up, Jocelyn James from Sterling. She scored her 1,000th career point, becoming just the 10th person in school history to reach this milestone. She is joined by Kennedy Quinn of Abingdon Avon, who had 20 points in a win over Sherrard. You have until tomorrow at noon to cast your vote for any of this week's nominees. You can follow this QR code or just go to WQ80.com to vote. Each week's winner is featured on Off the Cuff. And finally tonight, one more local lady. On Sunday, Iowa women's basketball freshman Journey Houston recorded her first career double-double in a win over Penn State. The Davenport native scored 11 points and racked up 11 rebounds. The Hawkeyes' next game will be at home on New Year's Day against rival Nebraska. And that'll do it for this week's edition of Women in Sports.